What's your name?
Lara
Surname?
Croft. Lara, your father's gone. You can pick up where he left off. I see so much of him in you. Brilliant.
Hello, Sprout. If you're listening to this, then I must be dead. I found something, a tomb called the Mother of Death. If Trinity succeeds, our world is in danger. Promise me you will stop them.
I promise. I think I know where my dad went.
That's right in the middle of the Devil's Sea.
It will be an adventure.
Death is not an adventure.
You shouldn't have come here. But I'm glad that you did.
What do you know about my father?
Now I see the likeness, the recklessness.
Close the tomb once and for all. The fate of humanity is now in your hands.
Can't be too careful these days. The world has gone bloody mad.
I'll take two.
Hi, this is Mike and Mary Jane Furchess with the Movie Guys with you again this week. Hope you're having the chance to enjoy some of the movies like we are. There's a lot of good ones that are out there, a lot of good ones that's going to be coming up in the near future. And we just saw one the other night. We don't always get to see them in advance. Sometimes we might even get to see them a week late, but if it's good enough, we're going to cover it for you and do a review for you here with the Movie Guys. By the way, in case you don't know, you can subscribe to our page at Facebook. That's at www.facebook.com/Wichita Movie Guys. That's all one word, Wichita Movie Guys. Or you can subscribe to our page at Facebook. One of the things that we're having a look at is that we've had a couple of movies that we've had some trouble with regards to the trailers on the video. The fact that I have press releases, I do television and radio, should give us the press rights to include the trailers in the video. So, as I scratch my eye here, so we're having some issues with that. We're dealing with that with some of those movie companies, so bear with us. We hope to include the trailers in every episode, but we don't always get to. We've had a couple of Firm Pictures was one that we've had some trouble with. Viacom in the past has had issues with some things that I've done as well. I've always won the copyright, the fair use copyright appeal to those, but it's not always easy to deal with that. So just be aware of that in case the trailer does not appear with this particular review. The one that we saw recently on our date night was Tomb Raider. The story of Lara Croft. It's kind of an introductory story. Some of you are familiar with Tomb Raider from the past with Lara Croft. I think, who was it that played that, Mary Jane? That was Angelina Jolie. She was not hard to look at in those movies. I have now seen them both. I have not seen them prior to this movie, but since seeing this movie, I've now saw both of those movies. We set up to watch the first one the other night. What was your thoughts about the first Angelina Jolie movie, Tomb Raider? Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Well, it was okay. I fell asleep after watching the Tomb Raider that's out now. I couldn't get into it, and I thought it just opened up. It didn't give you any background or anything. You just threw you into the to the story, and it's like, okay, for sure, what's going on?
Yeah.
So
I felt the same way. It was kind of a sci-fi fantasy movie. The movie Tomb Raider, the story Tomb Raider, is based off of a video game that has actually gone through 3 or 4 different transitions in the video game, and that kind of explains how that we now have 3 movies on Tomb Raider. They're all 3 uniquely different. I want to speak primarily about the one that we're going to be reviewing here today, the new one that's out, the 2018 Tomb Raider. The other 2 are Lara Croft Tomb Raider movies, and this is just strictly Tomb Raider. But I thought the first 2, I didn't like them. If I were reviewing the first Tomb Raider, I'd have probably given it a 3 or a 4. It was that bad. The second Tomb Raider, a tad better, maybe a 5. Certainly not a 6, but maybe a 5. A little bit better. But I don't like, from a fantasy perspective, I thought the movie failed. I thought the movies failed in regards to story. And if I had seen those prior to seeing this new rendition of Tomb Raider, I don't think I wouldn't have gone. And so I'm giving that an advance, speaking about those two movies like I am, simply because if you're like I am and did not like those movies, you might be inclined to not go see this new rendition of Tomb Raider. And I think that would be a mistake.
Me
Because
too.
Tomb Raider 2018, your thoughts, Mary Jane? We try not to talk about movies before we sit down here
We
and sit.
didn't talk about it much, but I liked it. I really liked it. When I left, Mike said, well, I know what I thought, but I'm not going to tell you. And I had already been thinking about, well, this is like a female, okay, my mind just went blank.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Jones.
It's what it reminded me of, the Indiana Jones movies. But it was like, okay, well, now we have a female hero that's like Indiana Jones. But the story it kept me interested the whole time.
I think they do a really good job of introducing the character of Lara Croft. I love the introduction to her. Starting out with MMA training and not the best. A bicyclist, that she's a courier in New York, I'm assuming. And they develop the story to where you find out that Lara Croft is really more than just this person training in MMA and doing bicycle courier work. She's someone that has a past, and her past plays a lot into where the rest of the movie goes. Alicia, and I hope I don't butcher the name. Alicia Vikander plays Lara Croft. Dominic West plays Lord Richard Croft. That's her father, and the villain in the movie. He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. I've got a script that I want to do, and if I ever get to do that script, he's the person that I want to play. I want him to play one of the parts in the movie. Walton Goggins. You've seen him in The Shield. He's been in a ton of movies lately. But Walton Goggins, he plays the part of Matthias Vogel, the kind of the villain of the story, and as usual, does a great job. In my opinion, he's not on screen enough, but does a great thing. Mary Jane touched on the movie. We just both of us went blank on it. The Indiana Jones series. We're human too. What ways did you think it was like Indiana Jones? Because I don't know what I thought.
She's always, like in Indiana Jones stories, he fights or he gets over one conflict and then right another pops up immediately. And that's the way it is with her. She escapes one catastrophe, and before she gets her breath, another thing pops up, and then another thing pops up, and it's just constant action and movement and her having to overcome things, and it just is a lot like Indiana Jones.
And she's dealing in archaeology like Indiana Jones. There's something that's lost, they're looking for it, again without giving too much away, but it's very similar. I liked her analogy that it's kind of, she is the female Indiana Jones. I love this rendition of the story, made it a lot of fun, was easy to watch. I would see it again. This is a movie I would see again. And I would love to go watch and hope that they do remakes, because I think it's a great story, great character, that if they carry it on in this way, would be a lot of fun to go back and see. Yeah, it'll be far more so than the first two.
Yeah,
again,
I think it's already doing really well at the box office.
Yeah, it's doing pretty well. And again, I would remind you, especially for those of you who saw the first Lara Croft Tomb Raiders, if you're like I am, if I had seen those two movies first, I would not have gone to see this movie.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have wanted to go see it either, because, well, I fell asleep. So.
It's hard to fall asleep in an action movie. But there's none of there's definitely, I wouldn't say fantasy, there's over-the-top action, like I call comic book violence, where you see someone doing something that they don't get hurt, and there's I can't believe that would happen moments in the movie. But it's done in a well enough way that it's not like the person does it and comes out a superhero and doesn't get scratched or hurt either. Again, very well done, a lot of action, a fun movie. I thought it was a good date night movie. It was a lot of fun.
Well, it also had the guy from Badlands. Was it Badlands?
Yeah.
on TV series.
Yeah, he did Badlands. He's in The Full Monty and a number of other films as well. He's
He
a
was in it.
great little character actor.
Yeah.
Some sidebar stuff that's a lot of fun, and it leaves itself wide open for a potential sequel as well. So
Yeah.
that's Tomb Raider 2018. You want to go first? You want me to?
Let's see. I hadn't really thought about what I would give it.
Okay, I'll go first because I have.
Okay, you go.
We need a lead here for the comic side relief that we had last week. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's not a perfect movie. It's not a great movie. These movies don't tend to be great classic movies, although they can be a lot of fun. I thought it did a really good job for what it intended to be. It's far better than average. To me, an average score of a movie is 5, and I would give it easily give this movie an 8. It was very enjoyable. It did everything I expected it to do. The action was great. The acting was great. Great story. Great direction. Roy Uthog did the direction on this again. Everything about it was really good. It wasn't perfect, but it was a really good, enjoyable, fun movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some moments in it where I know I was holding my breath, just wondering, okay, or what's going to happen, how's she going to get out of this? So I would give it an 8 also. I really enjoyed it. I thought there was good acting in it. The cinematography was good. It was believable. I mean, of course, they're not doing all those
Crazy
stunts, but it's believable the way they shoot it. And
some good what I call jump scare moments. There's some moments where you don't know what's going to happen, and you just, oh wow, oh, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I felt like I was probably squeezing Mike's fingers pretty hard.
Yeah, we still hold hands when we go out on a date night movie, so you won't see it often, but in the movie you might. So yeah, both of an average of an 8, a good movie, well worth seeing. Now, last thing, my tagline every week is if you go into the movies and you have a cell phone, don't turn them down, turn them off. Turn it off. Your desire to be on your cell phone and see what else is going on and texting or whatever it is you're doing does not give you the right to ruin the movie-going experience for everyone else in the audience, and that's what you're doing because the crazy little light on your cell phone distracts everyone in there. So turn your cell phones off. If you have to take a call, put it on vibrate, put it in your pocket, turn the volume down, then go outside and take the call. We do realize that people need to do that, but take that call outside of the auditorium where the theater is or where the movie is showing. Well, thank you again for watching the movie, guys. This is Mike Furchess and my wife,
Mary Jane Furchess.
Mary Jane Furchess. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day and enjoy the movies. God bless. Take care.